It doesn't hurt you, Jungkook asked. I won't pretend that it doesn't hurt. It still does. I have been through hell. I took some psychologist session. He took a deep breath. And now I'm good. Dan smiled. He knew between two of them, Jungkook had the most to lose. And that was obvious. He had already accepted that he has gone. I would survive, he kept telling himself. I would pick myself up, dust myself off, and will manage to live with a broken heart. Just like he was doing all this month. But Jungkook, how would he, without they? He would return to the empty existence he had enjoyed before. And Aien? What will happen to her without his Uma? Dan didn't want that. Jungkook and Aien need them more than him. You went to a psychologist. Jungkook was catch off guard. Dan nodded. I have no one to share what I was going through. My first heartbreak, and I was unable to deal with it. It was hard, really hard to accept that he's not only married, but I'll also have to face all my life. I was gone insane. My soul would burn, body would tremble. He smiled. His eyes showed that unshed tear. I have gone through the patience now. I'm sorry. I wasn't there for you when you needed me. Jungkook moved his gaze toward the wall in front of him. Since childhood, everybody said that we are alike. They're right. We are still the same. Look at us. How broken and messed up we both are. Jungkook smiled, and his eyes were built up. I don't know what they is to me, but all I know is matter a lot. His tears were over my hand. His presence kept me sane, and his only one smile, I can do anything. They had brought a new hope to our lives. I can give him anything. Did he ever ask you to forget Una? Dan questioned. No. Jungkook shook his head. Then what's the problem? Stop stressing yourself. If you think it would against your feeling toward Una, then you are highly mistaken. Una always wants your happiness. Did you forget? See you and Aien. Happy would make her happy. I'm sure about it. Except they doesn't mean you forget her. Remember that and just go with the flow. Almighty has blessed you with two amazing partners. Dan explained, and Jungkook seemed in a deep thought. Dan looked at him and thought, you won't know and take it in your heart already. That's how he is. And what about you? Jungkook asked. Don't worry, I'm trying. But it's not my hand. I want to see you, Aien, and they're happy. That's all. I'll go back if my presence will make you uncomfortable. Dan said. No, you don't have to leave. Jungkook replied. How is he now? Dan asked. I have calmed him down, but it affected him, not only physically, but mentally too. Jungkook rubbed his forehead with his finger. I won't let the matter go easily. They will be punished for it. Exactly. Dan replied. Jungkook stood up. I think I should go now. They will be waiting for me. Dan stood up as well, gave him that brotherly hug, and patted his back. Just go with the flow, Jungkook, and take care. Don't make him wait for so long. He said sincerely and moved back. Thank you. Jungkook gave him a smile. At midnight, the cloud was thundering and rain was pouring down. Low sides for the strength of the wind. Jungkook was blankly look outside the window. Raindrops were falling on him. Everyone now, and having a long tidy day, he was unable to sleep. He went toward the table and picked up the vase in his hand and placed it in the safer place, so it won't fall due to the wind. They had replaced the flower. He looked at them. No, help me, they cried. Jungkook come out of the trays and rushed over the bed. Jungkook come today, and soon he came. He fell on Jungkook and started crying. It's just a nightmare. Calm down. Nothing happened. It feels so cold. Jungkook put Tae in his arm and took the blanket over him. But he was still shivering. Jungkook softly rubbed his back. Tae hid his face in Jungkook's neck. Jungkook felt something wet on his neck. Tears. Jungkook thought they were shivering. Jungkook moved back slightly to wipe his tears. You're burning with a fever, he mumbled weightly. He lied down on the bed. He poured a cold compress, applied it on Tae's forehead, and gave him medicine. The fever would calm down early in the morning, but he was terribly shivering. He lied down beside Tae and pulled him on his chest. Jungkook fetched a deep breath and looked at Taehyung. The tears were falling from his eyes. He placed a kiss on Tae's head and mumbled, I couldn't save Una, but I won't let anything happen to you. He turned his gaze toward Aien and smiled with the teary eyes. My child, he murmured. His eyelid would drop. He heard Aien whimper and open his eyes. Aien was looking at her daddy. With widened eyes, he carefully removed his hand from Tae and tapped Aien, but Aien rolled over and sat down. He was unable to move. She must be hungry, he thought. Aien crawled toward the side of the bed. Baby, no, come here. You will fall down, he whispered and stopped. She looked back at her daddy. Come, he said softly, and after a few seconds, she crawled back toward him. Oh, Uma, Aien said, between his Uma and daddy. You're on my sick, he replied in a low voice, and held Aien one hand. He picked up her cell phone and called Namjoon. He knew Namjoon was the only one who would understand his situation. Without any judgment, after a few rings, he attended the call. Is everything all right? He asked in a sleepy voice. All good. Can you please come to my room? I need your help, Jungkook whispered hesitantly. Sure, Namjoon replied. The door is unlocked. Come inside without knocking, okay? Okay. A few minutes later, Namjoon tiptoed in the room. He rubbed his eyes and stood near the bed. His eyes traveled down the jungle. Taehyung was sleeping on his chest, and then to Aien, who was trying to release her hand from her daddy hold. Namjoon understood. He moved forward and took Aien in his hand, and then went toward Jungkook. Can you please take Aien to mom? I'm unable to move, and he needs me.